Hi everyone, Amy here. Welcome back to my channel, Paper Therapy with Amy. Here is the Cape Cod paper pack that you've been seeing lots of on YouTube if you watch any other channels. And here is my photos. I'm just gonna put them right over top of here. And I've sort of got them laid out how I want them laid out on my layout. So I'm gonna have 2 through lines and then 1 coming down like this. I'm definitely going to be matting some photos, maybe all of them. And if I take these out from under here, should have thought of that. So here we go. Let's get it nice and straight for you. Okay. So what I'm going to be focusing on is this is a shipwreck here in Oregon on the coast. It's just as you cross over, I believe, from I want to say Seattle, sorry, Washington. We flew into Seattle and flew out of Portland. I definitely want to use this one because there's a ship on here. And then this one doesn't really go because it's more tropical, and this isn't really tropical themed, although the color match is good with this picture here. So I do like this side a lot, and I like how it matches the sand. So I'm probably going to use that. And this kind of goes with any ocean. So I could use that. I definitely like this one, and it brings in the teal color. And then I might just put in some teal cardstock. I'm not a big stripe person, but I may try, and I'm definitely going to use a few zip strips, I believe. So I'm just going to get some things ready, and then I'll bring you back in and I'll get this layout going. So I'm definitely going to take this photo here, and probably this one, which is going to be a triangle, and they're going to be matted. And I might do this one here actually like this, so that it's more of a, and they're going to be matted in either a different color or a larger mat, and then the rest are going to be matted just kind of in all the same color. So just these 3 are going to be done, just to kind of draw them out a bit more. Okay, so I've got all my mats on my pictures, and this is how I want them. I'm just I'll put this here so that you can see the measurements easier. I want to have a frame behind here of this wood grain. So I don't want to use more than 1 sheet of wood grain, and I plan to have some banners going across the full distance of the anchor paper. So I'm going to show you the trick I do to creating it using 1 sheet to create the look that it's going through there, but it's not truly going all the way through. So what I want to do is I want to cut a strip, and I'm going to go past here because this is where I want my banner to go. So I want it to go from about here to here. So I'll just make a little mark with my nail and then I'll tell you. So that's about 5. And I need 2 of those because I need one on this side as well. So I'm going to cut 2 5-inch pieces. And I've been inking around everything in toffee, just if you're trying to replicate it. So there's 1 5-inch piece. And there's another 5-inch piece. So those are going to come in behind here like this. And I want it to frame this picture. I'm probably going to put those against. I may move this picture out so it's sort of centered on the wood grain, so it's kind of the title photo. And I haven't decided actually on a title yet, but I'll get there. I'll get there, guys. So here again, here I came to about 11. So here I'm going to go to about 11 as well. this time it's going to be more space on the end here, which is okay. So I would also like to make it look like it continues to down here. I do sort of wish I had done it the whole way. So I kind of like the trim, so I may put something here. I did cut a piece off, so I could probably hide it back in there, or I could put a strip of something else there. I'll decide that in a minute. So here, again, is going to go under there, but I need 2 of these because I want it to go across once again. And by the way, this is matted. It could just be toffee. That would have been fine, but I had on my desk a sheet of this mix-in sheet, and I decided to use it because it needs to get used up. Everything needs to get used up. So here I'm going to do to 1 inch because then I have 2 1-inch pieces. Let's get that out of the way. And then this is going to come along here. Right, so that you won't be able to tell. Oh, I wanted to bring that out to there. So I'm not totally sure yet how I'm gonna fill this gap in here, but probably I'm just going to, I wasn't very wise. I should have not cut this much off. So probably I'll just cut a few pieces from here. And I can put this here. I don't think anyone will know the difference if I cut them the right size. The other option I could do is have a strip coming down and have it coming down here as well, and show it on either side so that when it's together you'd have a strip here. So it would be something like this. This is not the right, obviously I wouldn't have waves. One like this and one like this. That's another way to cover it up. But anyways, for now, this is what I'm doing. So now I have the anchor paper and I want to bring that all the way across the whole layout. So I also want to add in some of this paper here because it brings in all the colors. So I'm going to start with 1 strip of, let's say, let's go 2.5 inches because I want this anchor paper to really show. Now the other thing is I don't need it to go the whole way behind because it's not going to show behind those photos. So I'm just going to cut it in half, which is 6. I'm just going to put this in here. And then I'm going to do this here, same idea, go right to the end, but this is coming in. So I did 2.5. This is about 1.5, so let's do 2. And that gives me kind of a bit of all the colors too, which is nice. So once again, we're going to cut this down to 6. Even 6 is more than I need because you see how much is hidden behind the photos, but just in case I rearrange things, it's all right to do that. And there we go. So now we have a faux background behind there, and no one is ever the wiser that there is gaps in there. So I do like this one kind of framed, but I also think I have to think about a title and where I would put it. I decided to do a treatment to the white background paper. This is the packaging technique, I believe it's called, and you use some inks. You can use any inks, but I'm using the Distress Oxides here. I'm using Peacock and chipped Sapphire. I will link those down below. You get a piece of packaging, and like a little baggie works the best because it works like a glove. And you squish those inks onto your all-purpose mat. You spray a little water on them, and you pick them up with your packaging, and you just kind of squish that ink onto the page. And I saw that Erin Jacobson had done this on a layout that from Cape Cod that she had used a circle on, and it was kind of coming out from behind the circle, and I really liked how it looked like water splashes coming out from behind. So that's why I went with this technique as well. This is not a difficult technique to do. It's great to try out. I encourage you to try it if you've never tried it before, or even if you're a beginner scrapbooker, because it really doesn't take any special talent. The biggest secret that I could tell you about it is don't go with too many ink colors if you're just trying it for the first time. And stay in the same tones, or even just use one ink color, especially with distress oxides, because they kind of change color with the water being added to them. So here is my layout kind of put together, and it's ready for embellishments now and a title. I've inked around everything in toffee ink. I mentioned that before, but I just want to say that once more. I always do that. I just prefer inking around things. I just think it makes everything look uniform, and yeah, it's just something I really like to do. I like that distressed look. I'm trying to find a home for this anchor. I absolutely wanted to use this anchor, but I was really feeling like it should come from somewhere because it's flat on the top with an arrow, like a banner. But in the end, it didn't come from somewhere. It's just kind of sitting to the side of this picture. And by come from somewhere, I mean, I felt like it should be poking out from underneath a picture or underneath a title or something. But I do like where it ended up, and I think it really fits with this layout because there is actually a shipwreck on this layout. So a little more about these photos. My husband and I, as I said before, flew into Seattle, and we had a rental car, and we drove the coast all the way down, quite far down, and I'm not sure, Lincoln City. One of those coastal towns. And then we came across to Salem, where we had a friend that we stayed with, and then we went up to something that he had going on for work in Portland. So it was really quite a fun trip. It was April, so it wasn't lay on the beach weather yet, but it was just kind of wild and neat to see the Oregon coast. The shipwreck that you see in this photo in these photo series is one of the most accessible shipwrecks in the world. And it is the Peter Iredale. It was run ashore and left there. You can look it up and read about it. And the other pictures you see is called Haystack Rock. These are two different beaches in two different communities or towns. The first one is just across the border from Washington. That's the shipwreck. And then the other one is farther down the Oregon coast. We really enjoyed exploring these two places, but I didn't feel I needed two layouts. It was on the same day, as you can see by our clothing. So I just put these both together, and I'm going to just write in that little journaling spot there the two beaches that we were at and the name of the shipwreck. If I find I need to do more journaling later on when I put my journaling in, then I will add some journaling strips, or maybe even just a strip with the date somewhere. But I think this should be enough just to kind of say where we were and when. This time I opted not to get the Cape Cod workshop. I just got the paper packet, and then I got the embellishment packet as well, because of course you need the embellishment packet. It's so wonderful. It has 3 different colors of items. You have the craft kind of sand colored items, then you have the sea glass looking acrylic shapes, and then you have a little sheet of white die cuts as well. I didn't use any white ones on this layout, but I did use the blue, the sea glass looking ones, and I used the sand colored craft ones. And then I also used quite a bit of things from the sticker sheet. As you can see, I chose Sun and Sea as the title. It just kind of fit there. I did struggle a bit with covering us up, and then I thought, what does it matter? It's just my arm kind of from doing a selfie. And I'm really happy that I did that, because you can see us in the other photo too. I also had to kind of just ignore my husband's t-shirt. He's got a Canada t-shirt on, which is kind of cool when you're visiting another country. But of course it's red. And I decided just to not try and bring that in. I just left it for what it is, and went with the colors in the Cape Cod paper packet that kind of went with the ocean and my clothes. So it took me a little while to decide how to use those pieces of zip strip, but I knew I wanted them in there one way or another, but it just took me some time to kind of place them. Another thing that I struggled with this paper pack was the bluebell, is it bluebell paper? And I'm not sure, it's the paper with the anchors on it, that color, and using it together with that tealy blue, which is the lagoon color. I kind of struggled with that, but I have it in the title and I have it in that wave paper with the words on it. So that did kind of pull it all together, and I do like how it turned out, but those two colors to me, I don't know that I would put them together on my own necessarily. But that's the good thing about paper packs. Sometimes they push you a little bit outside what you would have thought of on your own, and then you end up really liking the result. These little banners that I'm adding on the bottom of this picture here, I was thinking this would be a really good spot to put a little piece of white paper, sort of as a third strip with the date on it. And I might do that yet. If you are enjoying this video, there's a few things you can do to help me out on YouTube. One thing you can do is subscribe to my channel. That way you'll find out whenever I put up new videos. Another thing you can do is hit that thumbs up. That just lets YouTube know that you like this content, and it gets me out there a little bit more. You can also hit the little bell icon so that you get notifications when I post a new video. If you are a Canadian, another thing you can do, which is a tremendous help to me, is go down to the description and click on any of the links of the products from Close to My Heart. When you go to the Close to My Heart webpage, my webpage, and you make a purchase, I get a percentage of that purchase. I get a commission from that. And that commission makes it possible for me to buy new products so that I can show you new products on my videos. If I don't make sales, then it's very difficult for me to justify buying the new products right away to make the videos. As you can see here, I've finished off my embellishment clusters, and I'm giving you a close-up of how it all turned out. I hope you enjoyed watching, and thank you so much for spending some time with me. I'll catch you next time. Bye.